Well, greetings all my boys, girls, and of course, gifted animals. How are you this evening? I'm well. Obviously, I haven't gotten a haircut yet. The reason being is that I went there, actually today, and tried to squeeze myself in, but they didn't have room. And then they closed. Such is the life of a blue-collar worker, I suppose. Just can't get good service anymore. Um, but those ladies, they work hard. I'm rambling. And somebody once said, "Why am I rambling?" I forget who. Either way, what are we doing today? Well, since the lack of items that are on the market, I decided to get something that I've never had, but I've heard about. It's called Rococo, and they just make pizza. I mean, they're based in Wisconsin. There's a lot of locations around my neck of the woods, and I think, if I remember correctly, I did a little bit of reading on them, a little due diligence, if you will. And apparently they used to be all over and fairly spread across this great nation of ours, but no longer. So they're just here in Wisconsin, maybe in Illinois, maybe a few other locations survived. But so if you live outside of Wisconsin, this is probably fairly useless to you. Anyway, it's a deep dish pizza. Looks like it comes in squares. Let me kind of look at that. Doesn't look too bad. Now I got pepperoni and Italian sausage. And quite frankly, I love my sausage Italian. There's no other way to have a big old sausage unless it's Italian. So let's have a square here. Ooh. All my Italian sausage that I'm so fond of has fallen off. So we're going to do that number. Okay. Not the biggest fan of that, to be honest. What's the right word for this? Okay. So when meat stays in the freezer too long, and you take it out and you thaw it and you cook a burger or something similar, some kind of meat concoction, it doesn't just taste right, I mean, there's no really other way to describe it. There might be a word for it, there might be an adjective for it, but your uncle is just not there in terms of his vocabulary usage to describe that taste. But hopefully you know what I'm talking about. On the other hand, the pizza itself, aside from the sausage, is obviously a little bit greasy. I mean, there's a lot of thick meats on here, but the cheese is really gooey. It's really good. And the sauce, somewhat typical. I mean, there's nothing really special about it. If I were to compare it to a national chain, well, I would say that it probably closely matches Domino's more so than anything. It's not as sweet as maybe Papa John's, and definitely not as pasty and like based as Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut sauce, sometimes, it feels as if they just open up a big old can of it and just spread it around a pizza. It's just kind of pasty, I guess. Now the crust is actually, you know, it's bready. I mean, it's a deeper dish pizza. In terms of what kind of deep dish pizza, is obviously not like a Chicago deep dish. I mean, I would say it's more of a Detroit style, if you will. The crust has a buttery, bready mouth kind of feel when it swirls around on your palate. And similar to what a deep, not a deep dish, but like a pan style pizza from Pizza Hut would taste like. I should clarify that this is a pan pizza. That's how they make them. So I guess that kind of makes sense now that your uncle kind of put two and two together. It's just a square, and it's just, built like a deep dish pizza, I guess. In terms of the overall, bite of the pizza, it's just chewy, It's good, don't get me wrong, it's just chewy. It's almost as if that it needed to be baked maybe, good 2.8 minutes more. That way it gets a good bake to it on the bottom. Otherwise, it's just kind of bready and floppy. Don't have any napkins, obviously. Why are we shocked? That producer of mine just plays games. Well, this pizza's good. I mean, what it came to after tax before tip was quite pricey. Now, just for these two toppings, and this is I believe a medium, it came to $17.22 after tax, and then after tip, a little over 20, about 22 almost. So it's not a great deal by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, is it filling and is it big? Yeah, sure. And does it have a good novelty factor? Absolutely. In terms of, is it something that I'm willing to travel out of my way to get again? Probably not. I mean, it's good. It's pizza. Pizza's good, but it's nothing spectacular, and it's not worth your hard-earned dime. So we should rate this probably. It's above average. I mean, it's just not worth the money. I mean, it's not. You can get a much better deal with almost the same quality pizza from any of your major chains. So I suggest you go ahead and do that if you're craving a meat pizza. So let's go ahead and rate this a respectable, but definitely not award-winning 5.722. I mean, it is what it is, unfortunately. Anyway, oh, well, I guess I didn't mention what I'm drinking tonight. Well, it comes to no surprise. I still got a bottle of Old Granddad, so I still have a belly full of it. So on that note, cheers to you and yours truly. God bless. Hope to see you again. And as always, you take care. Till next time. This is your uncle, signing out.